Alright guys, hi and welcome back to my channel, and we are here for day 6 of my Halloween Spooktacular, where every single day I recreate a new season of American Horror Story. And today we are recreating Roanoke, which is why I have on this cool pioneer kind of hat. I don't know. The wig keeps getting in my face. This is actually an Alexander Hamilton wig. But it's not styled at all because I'm really bad at that. Anyway, so I have gone and recreated the Roanoke house. It was actually probably one of the easiest builds I have, and this season I have kind of mixed feelings on. Yeah, like, I like how different it is. It's like the most different of all the seasons, which I can appreciate. And I'm actually originally from North Carolina. I grew up there, so I had heard about Roanoke. I've been in the area. That excited me. So there were elements that I was really excited for. So I would say I almost got let down, but like not really. The second half is questionable, obviously, but I don't know. I do actually kind of like this season. As you see, we are like zooming in around the outside of the house. I placed it in Brittleton Bay. I felt like that was one of the most remote locations I could put them in. And we have Monet getting into the hot tub. Now, Monet is the actress Angela Bassett character that plays Lee. Wait, is Lee the guy? I don't know. You know me with names. I don't know. But this is Angela Bassett's character. I put her in a lot of like leather, a lot of black. She kind of has like a rock and roll type vibe going on. But yeah, Monet's just relaxing in the hot tub outside, hopefully not getting murdered. I originally wanted Shelby to be the one that did this in the beginning, obviously, because there's spoilers, by the way, but in the first episode, she's in there and gets attacked and all that kind of stuff. But Shelby was too busy playing chess with her husband, and all the other adults were mainly in Flora's room. They smashed her dollhouse. They're all just kind of gossiping on her bed and ignoring her. It's pretty sad. She's just sitting there crying. Flora, of course, is Lee's daughter, and she's a big plot point in this series. I at least appreciated that. It's not like Holden from Hotel, where he was a thing for like 0.5 as motivation and then was nothing. She actually drove the story. She like was a really huge plot point, and that was at least pretty nice. Usually when the children are involved, they don't really do anything, and Flora really brought the plot. She really kept the train moving. I mainly dressed her in bright pinks and purples and really girly, bright, happy colors, because I felt like most of the I messed up my color again. That's so annoying. Anyway, most of the other adults and characters on this series I put in like neutral tones, so Flora really stood out when it comes to her clothing style. But yeah, Flora ends up kind of getting over them breaking her dollhouse. She just keeps on playing with other dolls. We have Lee, her mom, in the room with her. We also have the guy who plays Matt on the show, Dominic. It's kind of really hard to explain. Obviously, hopefully you've seen the show if you're watching this, but it's like I tried to involve the main cast of the show, being Flora, Lee, Matt, and Shelby, and then the actors that portrayed the three adults, plus Kathy Bates playing the butcher. So that's all the characters that we have in this episode. Their names are going to confuse the crap out of me, but whatever. And then if we go back outside to the hot tub, we see that Kathy Bates' character, the butcher, has joined Monet in the hot tub. And it's a little bit uncomfortable. They're just kind of like soaking and relaxing for a little bit, and then of course the butcher has to get real crazy and start an argument with Monet and just kick things off. When it comes to the butcher's creatism, it's all pretty simple. I pretty much just put her in the same outfit for everything. I think it's a costume probably from Get Famous. I would assume. Like an actor
And
costume, I
Fabi.
think. I'm not too sure on that though, but I pretty much put her in that, and then I had the extreme violence mods and all that kind of stuff evolved, so I just put blood on her. And that's kind of what I stuck to. I debated between making actual like Kathy Bates clothes, like the actress that is portraying her, or just do the butcher. And I felt like it was just easier for me just to do butcher clothes. Yeah, there's a little clip showing you a little bit more about the butcher, where she gets her name from, all of that kind of stuff. Do you guys enjoy me putting clips in here? Because honestly, it's like, it gives me copyright shit, obviously. I don't really care about that. But if I can just take those out and not get it, and you guys would prefer that, let me know. If you have any criticisms or anything at all, let me know down below. I can handle it. I'm a big wiener. I can deal with it, okay? So just let me know down below. I will address some stuff like my sound quality and stuff like that a little bit later. But right now in the game, Monet is tired of hearing the butcher yell at her. She's like, I came to the hot tub to relax, to get away from people. You're coming in here, you're yelling at me, I'm over it. So she ends up getting up and leaving and heading inside. And this gives us a little peek on the first floor. And the first floor is pretty basic. The layout of the whole house is pretty simple. All the main rooms, like the kitchen, the living room, the formal living room, the dining room, all that kind of is just on the first floor. And then the second floor is all just bedrooms and bathrooms. Now, Monet ends up going into the kitchen. She starts cooking up a meal. She's mixing stuff in bowls. She's kind of like getting into everything. But then, of course, like in every single episode this season, I don't know if it's because I put like house traits, like lot traits on all the lots, or what it is, but like every single episode this season, a fire had to be started. Monet puts whatever she's cooking into the oven, and the oven lights on fire instantly. It's kind of annoying. I kind of expected it. If it's not in every single episode of the series, I guess I will almost be disappointed. I can't think of one that it hasn't been in. The first one, was there a fire in the first one? I don't think so. But yeah, the usual chaos ensues where everyone's freaking out, looking at the fire, pointing at the fire, not doing anything about the fire. Thankfully, I'd actually put a fire alarm in this kitchen. I don't think I did for many of the other lots. I did for this one, surprisingly. So it went off. The fire department ended up coming. I don't even know if they really put out the fire, if it kind of went out before they even got there. They weren't too much help. But by the time they got there, everyone was already outside freaking out still. They freak out for way too long after the fire is out. Like, that's the most irritating part about fires, I think. But yeah, the fire department comes, they put the fire out, everything's good, everyone's still alive so far. But things are about to get a little dicey, because I don't think the butcher is too happy about them catching the house on fire, them like disrespecting her in the hot tub, and I have a feeling that she's getting ready to attack pretty soon. Once the fire is put out and everything is calm again, everyone kind of returns to doing what they were doing before. Flora goes right back upstairs and continues playing chess with herself. Audrey, the actress who plays Shelby on the show, Audrey is played by Sarah Paulson. Oh god, it's so confusing to describe. She's just dancing in her room, hanging out. And then we, of course, cut to the butcher, who I said is pretty angry about the fire, about being disrespected, and she kind of has it out for Monet. So she stomps her way across the entrance through the hallway, finds Monet, and when she does, she grabs a glass bottle out of her cooter and smashes it right over her head.
Oh, Imbo.
And of course, the two people to witness it are the two other real people that lived in the house, Shelby and Matt, the divorced couple. And we're going to take a peek at Shelby's creative sim. And she's like a yoga instructor, so I kind of tried to put her in comfortable clothing. I, of course, put her in like the white sweater because that's what she does her like TV interviews in. But most of it, I just kind of try to put her in leggings. Ugh, I keep adjusting my... There we go. Sorry about my coloring. It loves to just like go off and turn green, and then it messes up my green screen. I don't know what that's about, but I tried to put her in comfortable clothing so that she could do yoga and relax. It's a bunch of like loose sweaters and leggings and Uggs and stuff like that. When it comes to Matt, I tried to dress him up pretty professionally, almost like a cute nerd in a way. A lot of sweaters with like a dress shirt underneath, a lot of like cute blazers. I kind of just tried to make him really neat, everything slim fitting. It to like look really nice. He's like a professional. Yeah, I tried to just make him like a cute nerd.
Huh.
Now, I gotta warn you, from here on out, this does turn into, like, the Butcher's gameplay. Like, she ends up running this episode. Since we kind of pissed her off by starting things off wrong with the fire and stuff like that, she does not let go. So, even now, we see her, like, leave the kitchen after smashing her head, and she kind of just goes into the living room and is dancing to herself in the mirror. But then, of course, she naturally just instantly snaps out of that and goes and starts arguing with, Dominic, and it just escalates throughout the entire episode. This is probably my longest episode that I have right now, and the entire thing is the Butcher being insane and attacking everyone and just causing drama. Like, if I were to do a Sims 4 Bad Girls Club, I'm probably going to put the Butcher in there because she has just been bringing it. And after getting smashed in the head, Monet is taking a nap in Flora's bed. For some reason, like, this is the bedroom everyone wants to hang out and sleep in. Don't know what that's about. Everyone else is kind of hanging out upstairs. That's where most of the, like, activities are. There's yoga mats for Shelby, an art easel, bookcases, chess. And with all the bedrooms, I feel like upstairs is a really big hangout area for these Sims. So that's mostly where everyone is. And then we follow Dominic, and he, unfortunately, is walking to the bathroom. There's only 2 bathrooms in this house, and he decides to use the bathroom that the Butcher is using, which I don't think is going to go over very well. If she's already angry and just simply angry about accidentally causing a fire, I don't think she's going to be too happy about accidentally walking in on her peeing.
Do. Flurba Sabe. Arva.
But as everyone else is kind of minding their own business, they're not really interacting with one another. They're all kind of doing their own thing. You know, like one of them's reading, one of them's dancing, one of them's playing chess. They're all kind of building on their skills individually. We're going to check out Lee. So Lee is Flora's mom, an ex-cop. She is who Angela Bassett is portraying in the show. But this is the real version of her. Again, hard to explain. I pretty much put her in a lot of the same clothes that Monet wears. A lot of black, a lot of kind of grunge sort of stuff, but maybe not as hardcore. It's a lot of just like black t-shirts and stuff like that. I kind of put her in a lot of basic stuff. Also, I have a pen in my hand, so if you're hearing this, I apologize. I don't know why I'm doing that. I shouldn't be doing that while I'm filming. Whatever. But unfortunately, since we just introduced Lee, we're going to go ahead and kill her off. I didn't choose to do this. Everything's on autonomous. The Butcher was happily dancing to her and just hanging out with herself in the room. And then all of a sudden she turns around and stabs Lee right in the front, right in the heart. And I know that wasn't Lee in that clip. I thought it was relevant. They're in a bedroom. She's attacking someone. Whatever. But naturally, because Lee was reading a book while she got stabbed, she has to walk all the way downstairs to the bookcase she got it from and put the book away before she can die in peace. She has to do that first. Meanwhile, everyone else is freaking out. They're like, I thought this was just a crazy lady that was here. Turns out she's violent. She's killing people. What are we going to do? And Lee is actually Matt's sister. So Matt kind of instantly as a reaction, just decides, well, I'm going to beat the shit out of the butcher. So that's what he does. He just starts swanging, starts punching her, and just starts going to town on the butcher.
The Bane. Oh. Haspa.
Nooch!
Muna Darbsy.
But again, as you can see, Lee decided to die in the dining room of all places. So that's where she ends up. The Death Reaper ends up coming and getting her and collecting her body. Everyone else kind of gathers around. They're still all kind of freaking out, wondering what to do. The Butcher ends up coming downstairs after getting her ass handed to her and is, like watching Lee's body on the ground, taking satisfaction from that. After just embarrassing herself against Matt. Aubrey is down there. Audrey. I keep wanting to call her Aubrey. Whatever. It's down there too. Mourning the loss of Lee and chance of trying to have a sit-down conversation with the Butcher, which I personally wouldn't do. I'd be staying far away from her.
Your door.
Oh!
But suddenly all the cops come in. They actually run right past the Butcher, maybe because they don't see her because she's a ghost. I don't know. I actually don't even know who called the cops. But instead of murdering them like I thought she would, the Butcher goes, I'm gonna murder the Grim Reaper. I'm gonna murder death itself. And she just tackles the Grim Reaper to the ground, stabs him in the heart, and surprisingly kills him. Thankfully, the cops are there, however, so they're able to go ahead and just arrest the Butcher and get her taken off the premises with a big swoop into a helicopter, while the second Death Reaper arrives. They're both still alive, though, so now I have 2 Grim Reapers in my house just hanging out, partying, while everyone else is running around freaking out at the events that just went down. Now, earlier when the cops had arrived, they were shooting into the air for no reason, maybe to calm everyone down. Get their attention. I don't really know, but they ended up accidentally killing one of their own. So now there's a dead cop in the entryway. And one of the Grim Reapers, probably the one that got killed, he's like, I'm off the clock now. He just ends up going to the kitchen, grabbing something to eat, is hanging out with the family. He's like, I'm over it. I was just here to do my job and this happened to me. I'm done for the day.
Whoa. Argla. Narkly.
Everyone else is still running around the house, freaking out. I think one of the cops is out of uniform or something. There's just a random man in my house doing push-ups. I'm assuming he's a cop. I don't really know. Flora is freaking out. She runs to the formal living room, library sort of area, and she ends up meeting one of the deaths there, the Grim Reapers, and he actually pulls her aside into the confessional to kind of talk to her about life and death and to comfort her a little bit and to make her feel a little bit better. The confessional is one of the hardest areas to build, as it looks a lot like the Playhouse puppet booth for kids, but when you size that up, it didn't look, it was too big. So then I tried to make it with curtains, but I still wanted to use the dollhouse thing, so it kind of looks a little bit jankety. But the main point is that it's a separate little area. It's a little pod in the room that they can go, and it's the diary room, and that's kind of what they use it for. Death and Flora.
Lube. Nativa Monkey. Kuba. Gorimbo.
Oh! Who will be?
However, with dead bodies still being on the ground, pools of blood being on the ground, urns being everywhere, it is kind of hard to fully get over everything so quickly. So, Flora is still crying about it at the end of the day when she walks to the dining room and sees her mom's blood on the ground. Everyone else is still freaking out even though the murderer has left. Tension is still high. For instance, we have Dominic, and he's picking arguments with the cops. They're shooting in the air still for no reason, even though the last time they did that, they murdered one of their own. And he's arguing and picking fights with them, which is not a thing you want to do with cops. So it's still a messy situation, and things are still possible to go down in this house, even without the Butcher being here. And I'm not even sure what really happened there. They were arguing. Dominic kind of steps up to him while eating cereal or a salad, whatever he's eating. And then the cop just kind of passes out and everyone freaks out about it. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what went down. Dominic didn't look like he did anything. Normally they don't freak out when someone just passes out. It happens pretty frequently in The Sims 4. So that was a bit weird. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the tension is still high, and it seems to be calming down a little bit. It would help if they cleaned up the blood and stuff, but that's not going to happen most likely. But as soon as, you know, I say, maybe it is going to calm down a little bit from now on, boom! You can't hold a ghost in jail forever. And the butcher is back. She has escaped the big explosion in the entryway, and she's back in the building. And I doubt that she's going to hold anything back this time, and she's probably just going to go on a full-on murder spree, which is what we need, which is what I love. But the butcher can't go on a killing spree on an empty stomach, so she decides to stop by the kitchen to make herself some food. Meanwhile, everyone grabs their food and runs upstairs to hide. They all go hide together. They're all just trying to get far away from her, because they know as soon as her meal is done, even potentially before she's done eating, someone's probably going to get them hands or that knife.
Haha.
And like I said, she goes upstairs, goes straight to the bathroom. She gets revenge for being walked in on in her bathroom, decides to walk on in on Audrey and strangle her. While she's doing that, we're going to take a peek at Audrey's create a sim just in case she dies from this. When it comes to her, I tried to put her, she kind of dresses a lot like Shelby does. I kind of put her in a lot of flowy outfits, a lot of layers. She's from the UK, so she's used to cold weather. That's kind of how she dresses like she does. She's just, it's all very kind of bougie a little bit though, and comfortable. Bougie comfortable is the style I tried to give her.
Oh. Florbo!
But yeah, she's choking the life out of her. But however, Audrey decides, or she doesn't really decide, but she's able to escape her grasp and get out of there. She runs right out of the room. Everyone else kind of follows suit and leaves. And surprisingly, Dominic decides, you know what? I'm over this. I'm over running from you. I'm over you attacking us. He gets a knife and he stabs the butcher right in the stomach. He said, if the cops aren't going to do anything, if the jail isn't going to stop you, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to kill you right here.
Fluffy!
When it comes to Dominic, he is like a Hollywood actor, so I tried to dress him up in a lot of jewelry. You'll notice he always has rings on his fingers. I tried to put him, he's again in all black. He kind of dresses like that on the show. He wears like leather jackets and stuff like that. That is kind of the style. I feel like the three real people dress like really comfortable, and then the other ones dress really like leather and all black. So it's kind of what I put him in. I tried to kind of dress him like a baller, like a rapper or something. Someone that's successful in Hollywood. But with the Butcher dead and the Grim Reaper already here and able to collect her, everyone is finally able to calm down for the first time in a while. Now that she's not on a rampage anymore, like Shelby goes straight to sleep. Everyone else is kind of cleaning up the blood and everything that's around the house, and things seem to be calming down. And as the Butcher is, taken from Earth, as the Grim Reaper takes her body, we actually see that Lee's ghost has came back. And that is a theme of the season, with Flora seeing ghosts and communicating with them and them haunting them in this house. So I thought it was really cute that they were able to actually reunite Flora and Lee. Flora is asking her for parenting tips, or tips and advice, and even though she's dead, Lee is able to still communicate with her, to still help her daughter, to still hug her and give her comfort. And even though there's her blood is a few feet away, she's still here, able to still communicate and have this relationship with her daughter.
Piwa Faye.
Everyone seems to be trying to get into their nightly routine. They're all trying to sleep, but none of them can really sleep. They keep waking up and crying, and they're kind of having nightmares and stuff like that. I mean, after such a traumatic day, I don't think you can just easily wind down and go to sleep right after. So that's not really happening. Everyone's kind of, playing follow the leader. Someone goes downstairs and they all follow that person downstairs and stuff like that. And then things take another turn. For some reason, even though Lee is a green ghost, she seems to be pretty happy. She just got to reunite with her daughter again. She has some weird anger going on, especially for Dominic. She ends up pulling out a chainsaw and just slicing him in half, even though he helped avenge her killer and stuff. I don't know, the house ended up possessing her. I have no idea what possessed her to do that, but she murders him. While hiding in the basement, it seems as though Shelby and Matt's marriage might be reconnecting a little bit, as they both agree to sneak back upstairs and risk their lives to go woohoo. And while I'm saying they're risking their lives from Lee, but also just the house in general, because now it seems as though the house has started another fire at the fireplace with Audrey, and Audrey is now on fire, and we have to hear Sarah Paulson screams as she dies. Ugh. I gotta say that this Sarah Paulson character is her worst character. I originally said it was Hypodermic Sally, but I don't agree with that at all. She was at least her villain role is her creepiest role. This character is so annoying. Her accent is horrible. She's just a bitch. And out of all the characters to die in my series, this is the one I'm actually happy about, and no one did it but herself, so it's kind of ironic. This makes everyone freak out. I ended up locking the doors. However, I forgot to lock the underground tunnel. Behind a secret bookcase in the basement is an underground tunnel that leads to another room that's on the property. And so everyone's kind of escaping through there, running through the tunnel and getting out of the house as quick as possible, and just running far away from the fire. However, there is not a fire alarm in the bedroom, so fire department will not be arriving this time to save to save Audrey, and Audrey unfortunately dies in the fire. And I originally was going to leave it there. I started taking dramatic shots of the house on fire from the outside as everyone's freaking out. I was wrapping everything up, and then really randomly, Monet decides to go back downstairs, run through the tunnel again. And I'm like, are you trying to save her? Are you trying to get something out of the house? What is your intention? What's your goal here? Because she still had the freaking out action going on of the fire. So I was like, what exactly are you doing? But it ended up kind of being perfect in order to show you how the house itself is a evil force, because she like keeps running upstairs. I guess she's going to go try to save Audrey or something, but she's running up to the direction of that bedroom, and once she gets to the top of the stairs, her hair just like starts catching on fire out of nowhere. Her body is just catching on fire, and she's not even freaking out. She's just standing there on fire, slowly dying with no reaction. It's really bizarre and strange, and I was like, you know what, now's the time I'm gonna wrap it up. So this is kind of where I leave it. All the actors died, and all of the originals survived, surprisingly. I didn't even plan that. But yeah, that's my version of The Sims 4 American Horror Story Roanoke. I really like this season. It's really different. It's really weird. Originally, when I watched it, I absolutely hated it. I was like liking it at first, and then halfway through the season, they changed it completely. And then the last episode is really wild and crazy, and the plot is really strange. But I weirdly enjoy it. Like, looking back and looking at all the seasons, this one really does stand out to me, and I really like it. So when it comes to my ranking, it's still fairly the same, where Asylum is number 1, and then it is Murder House, and then it's probably Roanoke, and then Freak Show, Coven, and Hotel. That's my list for now. What's your list of favorite seasons? Do you not like mine? Let me know down in the comments below. I love comments. Give me hate, give me love, whatever. I'll respond to it. And of course, subscribe, because we still have a couple days left before Halloween and a couple more seasons left to recreate. Also, as a side note, I wanted to apologize for my shitty editing recently, and thank you for your patience and your support. I do know that in a lot of my most recent videos, the music in the background has been way too loud and my voice has been way too low. So it's been kind of hard to understand me. I'm a low talker, mumbler anyway, and with loud copywritten music on top of it, it makes it even more difficult to understand. So thank you for leaving comments, letting me know about that. And I will try to fix it. The reason that has been an issue for me is because I'm really trying to edit in real time. So all of these videos I'm making the day before I post them. And that's because in future seasons, I would love to do things in real time using like if I had a show that involved a public vote, kind of like Big Brother UK. That's a show that I would have to make in real time so I could do it knowing what you guys think and stuff like that. So I am trying to get a little bit more practice in that. That being said, I am a little bit sloppy. I haven't been watching my videos over again to hear that the audio is off. So I do apologize for those mistakes, and I hope I'm going to be fixing them now and in the future. This is just kind of a little bit of practice for me. I hope you guys are liking the season and the series, and I will see you guys tomorrow when we do American Horror Story Cult. Until then, bye.